Young Justice Season 4, Episode 23. We got Brion back, which is pretty cool. But I will say we also got one of the worst scenes in the season overall. And that's the Halo and Brion scene right there.
Oh, interesting.
I really did not like that scene. What did you think?
Okay, so I guess, well, I'll start off with the overall episode and then we'll get to this point of the scene. I guess overall of this episode, it's very, to me, it's the most interesting episode because like the last four episodes have been really enjoyable. This episode wasn't really as enjoyable as that, but I did like that with all these plot lines, or at least these filler plot lines, I feel like it was needed, especially with the Brion side, because after, you know, season 3, it just seems like everything that happened in season 3 isn't really relevant anymore. So now it brings the relevancy that happened in season 3 or the effects of it.
But
so
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it feels like a weird moment to bring it back up.
Yeah.
I rather them have addressed it a little later and kept the flow with all the great episodes and like the storyline, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they sort of have been doing that for the past few episodes and it was good, and then we get like an episode like this where they just slow down like so much.
Yeah, I think for me, I think the issue is that they should have played with this Brion stuff more. Like, I would prefer to see this whole Brion with how he's impacting these metahumans as well as Markovia plotline more than the Beast Boy stuff. Not that the Beast Boy, I mean, that's just my personal take. I think if they played that more, it would have been better as opposed to it just coming now. But I do like it because, again, it's like they're addressing something that was just kind of like they've kind of just left it out in the air. And as far as the whole Halo and Brion scene, I was okay with it just because I would prefer her to actually meet up with Brion and get this thing resolved. And it kind of makes the Brion and the Halo stuff intertwined as opposed to it just being like, oh, I have this issue with Brion. And then we don't even get to see them like actually deal with the conflict.
That was, oh my God. I'm sorry, man. That was like the worst scene in Young Justice like ever. Like, it was terrible.
Oh no, I've seen worse scenes for me.
In Young, I don't know about that, bro.
Oh no, I feel like the Mars part where they were complaining about the racism, and it's like we're all the same. Like, what was it? They said we're all the same color. We should never be judging racism. That to me was one of the worst scenes in Justice ever for me. So
okay, I don't know exactly what scene you're talking about, but this one, watching it fresh, it was terrible. The pacing was really, really weird. It felt like they were rushing it super, super hard, not giving any breathing room between, like, there was like hardly any setup for that scene as well. Like, only in this episode, and the teensy bit that we got was just relationship stuff versus actually, I don't know, there was just, I feel like there's so much more to their dynamic than their relationship, and it just felt really off. It felt like a dream sequence. I was like, is Briam about to wake up from a dream? But it was actually real, and I was like, oh my God, that was terrible.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I have a different opinion on it in the sense that I agree that it was rushed, which I agree with you, and it kind of reminds me of the Atlantis scene where Amira, there you go. Amira becomes the king, and the way they did it, like the way they jump into the conclusion of, oh, she should be the king kind of thing. It kind of comes rush like that. But I think for me, the reason why I was okay with it was, again, it is something that both of them have, like, it's something where she has a problem with, you know, getting over her thing with Brion. Brion is having issues with his whole kingdom thing, and it's kind of like a moment where it's kind of like, dude, you remember what happened in the past kind of a thing. So I felt like the moment to me was a more enjoyable, and I think it was needed. I wish it wasn't done as like fast as like a rub where they just like the minute what's his face the other guy comes in, now she's all like, what, how dare you, and then just disappears. I wish it was done better, but
exactly, dude. Exactly. Oh my God, you literally just described another huge issue with that scene. It was dumb as shit, dude. I hated it.
Yeah, again, I wish it wasn't as abrupt or it wasn't as fast, but I felt like it felt like it was needed, in my opinion. I feel like it was needed to get this over with, and I'm
sure as a plot point, but like as a scene, oh God, like please erase it. Like I'd rather not have seen it. I'm sorry. Okay,
it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's something where it's like two different like angles of how we looked at that scene. It's one of those things, but I can definitely see the issue.
Yeah, let us know what you thought of that scene, because like I'm curious if it's just me. Like it legit felt like one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in Young Justice. But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. I guess to follow up with that, since we're talking about Halo, we got this whole thing with Halo and her a therapy session, which was interesting because we get to see Beast Boy and see how he's doing, which is kind of the thing that I liked, because it's kind of, for me, it seemed like it was wrapping up all these side plots as well, because we knew Beast Boy was a side plot and Halo was a side plot. So now we're kind of wrapping that stuff, as well as referring to stuff that happened to the past with season 3. So that was another thing I liked about that. But on the same time, with the therapy session, I did feel like it was a little bit on the nose at some points, which we can expect now. But at least there's a justification, because, you know, Black Canary is there. So therefore, we would expect a lot more therapy terminology and, like, you know, be careful of saying what you should do and address things in a way of like experience, which we can see with Cyborg talking about what Halo should do with the Brion thing. So I don't know. I mean, I know you didn't really, you probably didn't enjoy that part as much, but what's your take on that whole thing?
I thought the therapy stuff was fine. I was pretty neutral about it. I'm glad I get to see Cyborg and Beast Boy together. It's like Teen Titans nostalgia.
Yeah.
But other than that, it didn't really lend itself to the story very much, and that's what that's what I liked about the previous episodes, is that, you know, they're actually pushing the story forward and whatnot.
Yeah.
Anytime you can push the story forward and also have good character moments, I'm always like for that, versus like taking us out of the main story and just like having these very, very fillerish. Like, I wish they just made extra episodes, like, you know how animes have like OVAs and stuff.
Yeah.
Where they say, okay, this is canon, but this is more like, you know, what some characters went through, and then they can do some of those more like slice of life therapy stuff in those, and keep the main series on like the main story.
Yeah.
Because literally that therapy session has almost nothing to do with the story at all, and I guess it made Halo want to visit Brion. Like that was the only thing. But
yeah. I mean, again, I think for me, the reason why I'm okay with this is just the idea that, again, for example, Beast Boy, that's something that they've been playing on this whole season. So we kind of get a resolve to what's going on with him. And then
we already got it, dude. We already got it.
That's true. But even then, I just felt that, again, to see that like now he's even more better with what's going on. Like that's.
Yeah, but it feels cheap.
It feels cheap, but it's like we're getting resolves to stuff that was being addressed. So as much as it's not part of the main plot line, it's addressing things that were problems, as well as, again, going back to season 3, which was the aftermath for the season. They were resolving certain things, or we're seeing how certain things played out.
I see why you like it. I get why you like it. Like, in concept, all of these things are great. And in concept, I feel like all of these things should be done for sure. But the way it was executed is just, it's cheap. They didn't spend time developing it. They just gave us like little scenes here and there of Beast Boy being depressed. It didn't feel like a real story. It just felt like, all right, let's just show these scenes, and then, okay, let's resolve it. That's it. There wasn't a build up. There wasn't like much time spent with the character going through the actual depression, and him like there wasn't a focus on it. There wasn't anything. It was very superficial throughout. So I get what you're saying. In concept, all of these things are great. They're resolving it, but it's just it's not well done, and that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. It could have been done better. I definitely did love if I had to choose between two of the quote unquote filler scenes or filler plot lines, I did love the Brion stuff, just because that was something where, again, I still feel like I really wish they could have played this more within this season. And this is what I thought this season would have been, with the whole, like, we know Brion just turned to a different side, and now we can kind of see the effects of it. And another thing, what I love about the Brion plot line is because this plays a lot with the light. Because I remember the light, they have their whole hands with Brion. So we're kind of seeing the light's plan get played as well, which is something that I feel like this season's been missing, where it just seems like the light isn't really here anymore, you know, besides the whole magic arc.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the first few Brion scenes, but then once Halo came in, everything got weird. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Brion, it's been a long time, right? Since in the Young Justice timeline, it's been a long time since
Yeah, it's been
he did that whole, they mentioned it was like a year?
It's over a year now. Because it's when Brion did the thing, it was around February, and now it's September, so it's like over a year. It's like a year almost.
I mean, like this scene or this episode shows us that he's onto his advisor. Like he feels suspicious of him at least. I'm just surprised he hasn't done it sooner. Like it's a little strange to me.
Yeah, and I also found the what's it called, Infinity candidates, Infinity cadets or something. I thought they were. I was trying to figure out what makes them different between like the outsiders, and I was hoping they would be more like they're not afraid to kill people, where it's like, oh, if you attack us, we're gonna go kill you. Which unfortunately they didn't do that, but you know, we see that they're kind of bullies, which sucks. So yeah, I was hoping more of like they're the Justice League, except they're not afraid to kill people, kind of thing. So we'll
that
see
would have been
about
interesting for sure.
Yeah, that would have been a different take, because it's like, oh, are they just another version of the Justice League?
But let's get back to the main story, and that is the fact that the team finds the bus and then they fix it thanks to Zatanna.
Yeah.
But one thing about it was like a whatever scene, honestly. It's like, it's whatever.
That's what I was gonna be honest with you.
And then like the fact that their reasoning for not bringing McGann is very confusing to me, because I feel like they're not giving her enough credit. Like it would kill her, stuff like that. Like, come on, like. Yeah, Artemis has done so much since Wally has died, and I feel like if they were to say, oh, like Wally might be trapped in the Speed Force or something like that, like let's not tell Artemis, otherwise she'd like I would hate that so much, you know? Like I don't get why they would not tell the person who would want to help the most. It is kind of confusing to me.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, my only take on that with why they probably didn't want, again, as well as like they don't want to get her hopes up, like maybe they're not really sure if like this is gonna work out well. So it's like I can imagine it being like, even if Connor's alive in the Phantom Zone, but something is abrupt with it, like that would even hurt even more. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I mean, sure, they know that they can bring him back, but they would rather make sure it's like, if they bring him back, are they gonna bring him fully? Or is there going to be some sort of side effect where it's like, this isn't the same Connor anymore? Which, ironically, that's what seems to be going in the series. So I think that's where they're coming from. But
still, it doesn't make, I mean, I don't know. I just think the reasoning is pretty weak. Like, even if that were the case, the fact that McGann could rescue him and he's alive is still like worth something. I don't know. There's like two ways that I'm sort of seeing it. Is one is that, you know, wouldn't you want to tell someone that cares about this person the most, like to help out?
Yeah.
Because they would want to, for sure.
Yeah.
And then the second one is for story purposes, where like the person that's most invested in this mission isn't even here doing it. You know, it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. I guess for me, I'm just looking at it in terms of like, imagine you lose someone with like you move someone, like you lose somebody and then you have a chance to bring them back, but you're not 100% sure. And that sometimes could be. I
don't give a damn.
I know, dude. That's you. If
there's even a 1% chance, McGann too. I guarantee McGann too.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I guess the angle I can see it coming from.
Okay. And if there is something wrong with him, then McGann's like the best person to have there to actually help, because she fixed Calder's broken mind after breaking him.
That's
I feel
a
like
fair point.
I feel like the reason they're not bringing her is so that she can't fix him, can't fix Superboy, and so they'll have issues, and it's for those like plot reasons that I don't know. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I do agree on that aspect, because like when we get into, and I guess we can talk in with the whole Phantom Zone part, because I was thinking like, yeah, wouldn't like, I feel like McGann will be the thing that would trigger him more after seeing those flashbacks, because it seems like now that he's fully, you know, General Zod kind of like soldier, I feel like McGann would be the heart that would break him out of it. But yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I mean, again, I understand the like to me, I think the idea of like with the angle that they're coming from, whether you agree with it or not, is like it is like you don't know whether or not you're going to like, even if you bring someone to life or whatever, or bring someone, or you know they're trapped in a zone, you don't know what outcome they can, like what they will become, and that can be even more devastating in that case, where it's like this person's alive but they're not the same person.
Okay, just imagine this.
Yeah.
So they rescue him, and and you're right, he's not the same person at all.
Yeah.
Are they just never gonna tell her ever?
They're gonna have to tell her.
Are they just gonna keep this secret from her like forever? Is that what you're saying? Because in the end, that's like similar to her like also finding out that, you know, he's not the same. Like if they actually rescued him and tried to, I feel like she would be so mad that she was left in the dark.
Well, imagine if they did rescue him, or they try to rescue him, but they fail again. Like, imagine she's there to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we go in, we find this route,
yeah,
we get him, and then now he's gone again. How much more hurt would that be? Where it's like, I might as well have not known. So I think they just want to make sure that everything's fully sure. That's where their headspace is coming from. I'm not saying it's the best plan.
Know, man. That's like,
look, dude, I agree with you. It's not the best plan.
Yeah, and that's like saying like, oh, let's not do this because we might fail. That's like dumb. That's some pessimistic, super, I don't know. I get what you're saying, like, but I don't think she's like a super fragile, like, I'm gonna kill myself if this doesn't work out type of person. Like, they're not giving her enough credit. Like, she's a strong character and everything. So I think it's lazy writing. That's personally it for me. I just think they don't want to bring her because she could solve or help him, and they need this conflict to be interesting without her, I guess.
That's
it just makes no sense in so many levels, like the story wise too, like I said.
I can see that. And then with the Phantom Zone again, like I predicted, you know, he's gonna betray Phantom Girl. Yeah, which I thought it was you know, it is what it is, and apparently Phantom Girl can just completely just like, you know, leave the Phantom Zone like that, which makes sense because she can travel through dimensions. But I didn't think it would be that easy where she can be like, oh, I could just go back to the normal world. So that's a very interesting thing. I am curious to see where that's gonna play out. I'm curious whether with like is when Phantom Girl comes back to. So this is what I think. If Phantom Girl goes back to Saturn Girl, is Lord Zod gonna use that to bring his father back? Like, hey, you can go to Phantom Zone, you better bring my father back, and then that's gonna bring Superboy out? Or is it gonna be something?
The way she explained it was sort of like, I don't think she can willingly go there.
Oh,
like,
okay.
She accidentally went to the Phantom Zone. She usually goes into a different dimension to phase. So yeah,
I guess that makes sense. That makes sense there. And then what I think is interesting is I'm curious now the trust with General Zod's girl. That's because before she didn't seem like she trusts Superboy that much, but now seeing that Superboy betrayed, I wonder how much like now she's gonna trust him. And then when she sees the team, that's when the distrust is gonna come in. So I don't know. Young Justice has always been a show where it's about like trust has always been like a big theme. So I've always loved how they play with trust.
Like how they don't trust McGann. I can't get over it, dude. I'm really upset. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, man,
like,
it's fine. It's fine. Let's put it this way. They still haven't told Artemis about that whole thing with Wally. So,
I mean, that's different. That's very different. There's a real chance. like, oh my god, dude. Zatanna even saw that he was in the Phantom Zone based off of Rocket's like thing. It's just so likely that, you know, they will have a good chance of at least seeing him. It's kind of crazy they don't bring McGann. Like, oh my god, I can't. Let me know what you guys think. Like, you can disagree with me, please. If you disagree with me, please tell me, because I'm just upset that they're not bringing her. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, again, overall, the episode to me definitely not as amazing as the other 4 episodes, but I still thought it was interesting in my eyes, because I still feel like, despite that we did get some, you know, distractions or things that didn't really play with the major plot, I feel like those stuff were things that needed to be addressed within the series. And again, and to me, I thought at least the Brion stuff to me was the most interesting thing in this whole thing, because the bus to me was all right, but it kind of did felt kind of fillerish, where they're just kind of like, oh, we got to get these things to solve the bus, and then once they solve the bus, it's like, we're going to the Phantom Zone. It's like, okay, thank you for kind of taking your time. But yeah, that's my take on this episode. What about you?
Yeah, I just didn't really like this episode. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Got one of the worst scenes, got a weird ass explanation, and things are like moving in the wrong direction now. I'm sorry.
Okay. I guess we should.
Yeah, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like, I'm happy you enjoyed it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it too.
That's
yeah. I apologize if this is not what you guys want to hear, but I just am honest with my feelings about my opinions and whatnot. It's just, I'm sorry if it's not what you want to hear.
I think it's entertaining. It creates a nice contrast between what kind of things we all like. But I think we should start reading the comments.
Sure.
Let's see. I'll start off with a one by Kendall, which he puts a time frame which is 3:36, which my guess what he's trying to say is, because I did mention that I do feel like this arc isn't going to be as personal to Nightwing, so that's something that I've kind of felt like was going to be an issue with this arc for me, and it kind of is now, especially with this episode kind of proving like the scene that we have with them was sort of just like what I guess the closest personal thing we had is that Nightwing, the car that he's using is now going to be taken away because they had to make a deal. So that's his personal guilt right there. But yeah, I think he's agreeing with me on that. So I would hope a further explanation on that being played.
For sure. All right, so let's see. Marsh says, one thing I like about Lorazad is that he's smart. However, he also suffers setbacks and loss and has to adapt and change plans accordingly. None of this, it all went according to plan anyway, like the light was throughout the first couple seasons. Also, he knows what time it is when it comes to superheroes to get Bart to cooperate. He dangles, you might be able to turn the tables if you play your cards right, carrot. Yeah, I definitely think Lorazad has a more like reasonable approach. It's less cocky like the light. You're right, in the first season it was like, oh yeah, but it is according to plan, stuff like that. I kind of don't like it when villains do that. This is fine, and then it's not really fine. But Lorazad accepts it and is like, okay, let's adapt and make a new plan, which I like about him.
Yeah, I like that. And we also have to take in consideration that Lord Zod is younger while the light is more older, so it's more of like, we kind of see why he may have that mentality or that approach, while the light, again, they're old, they're stuck kind of in their ways of being like, nope, this is part of my whole plan, my whole scheme, if you will. But Sidma says, season 3, Artemis asks Zatanna to contact Wally's spirit for her, and she said that she wasn't able to do that. Okay, I think this is addressing because I brought up the whole like, how come they didn't do the same thing for Wally as they did for Superboy? And the answer to that was someone replied saying that he's been dead for long. Yeah, I get that. I just still like, I still find it hard to believe that all those souls, because for example, there's a part where they see a bunch of souls. I still refuse to believe that all those souls are just people who are dead in that moment. I would think that all these souls have been dead for a good amount of time. So that's why I think it's weird that they didn't, at least I would think Zatanna would think, oh, if I could see spirits, I can go and see Wally and then try to help that with, Artemis.
Look, if Wally isn't back by next season, I will give up all hope. I might even just be done with Young Justice. All right. Season 5, Wally returns. That's the only thing that might be able to be like really make me stick for the long run.
Imagine you give up on Young Justice and then Wally just comes back. That's exactly what happens. They waited for you just to quit and then to have you come back.
Yeah. Either way. Okay. AC Dub Film says, when Saturn Girl taunted Lore about how he failed, I was like, girl, you're wearing an inhibitor collar that can blow your head off. Are you trying to get yourself killed? That being said, it is kind of funny that Lore got screwed again. by the same people in the same way he was fooled the first time. Yeah, like I think at that point, you know, I don't know, that is a very good point, but I feel like if she was gonna die, if he was gonna kill her, you know, it would have just happened already.
Yeah.
So she probably feels like,
Yeah, it's a leverage thing at that point. I think that's what was going on. But Tevla says, I love this show's bringing back Nightwing, baby. Yep. I love that they brought Nightwing too. Hopefully he's going to be utilized more.
Yeah, but I'm freaking sad that I'm freaking sad that this episode hardly even used him. Dude, another reason why this episode's not good.
No, he was used. He had the car. That car was used.
Oh my god.
If it wasn't for that car, you know, those monsters wouldn't make a deal. So he was used.
No, that was dumb. All right. Let's see. Marie said, I just kind of assumed that Forager got the ring because she used her willpower to break her arm through the Kaiser Thrall's torture beam. I suppose. I mean, everyone was fighting for their life, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay, you know. We don't have to see her anymore either way.
We don't have to see her anymore. Let's see. X-Men. I'm glad to know that Supergirl exists on Earth 16. I hope we see her in Ma-El in season 5 with all the legions and Krypton stuff going on. Knowing this show, they're probably just gonna like let's just say hypothetically the Kryptonians do come out. This series is probably just gonna do some different story in season 5 and pretend like the Kryptonians never happened. And then we get ourselves a different arc knowing the show. But you know, who knows? Hopefully we do get to see Supergirl. So
yeah. Okay, AC Dubs made another comment. You guys were right in guessing that my favorite character is Nightwing. A good guess, Truku. I think you were the one who guessed it, but
yeah.
I'm sorry that Nightwing is just not that relevant in this episode. Anyways, when season 4 first came out and was revealed to be covered in various character arcs, I envisioned that Dick's arc would consist of his relationship with Batman and how he ended up becoming Nightwing in the first place. That would have been a great thing to cover. And number 2, his relationship with the team, the League, and the Outsiders after the lies he fabricated seasons 2 and 3. Another interesting thing that could have been covered that wasn't. Number 3, and or his relationship with Jason Todd before he died, and then him having to revisit that with the possible return of Jason. That would have been great. I feel like that is a story I would love to see.
Yeah.
But given the show's current trajectory, none of these things are likely to happen. I don't doubt that I'll enjoy it, but I am kind of disappointed. I feel you all right.
I totally feel him. I thought Jason Todd would be the next would be Nightwing's arc, but it is what it is. Tribe God Quest basically mentions the whole Zatanna dead spirit thing and how basically he still's holding up for Connor to unlock his meta power abilities being half human. I don't know how I would feel about, I mean, as much as it would be cool to see Connor be full Kryptonian, I kind of like that he's like half, because then it's like, then he's just Superman, a complete Superman clone, which I know he's supposed to be, but I kind of like that he has the disability, you know? But it'd be cool if he could switch his abilities, because it just seems like it'd be cool if he can trade like heat vision for like his jumps, because I just feel like his jumps and his strengths are just they're kind of meh.
Yeah, I just want my boy to fly. That's it, you know. Like, he just feels incomplete without some flight. I just remember the good old days when he had those shields and could fly around, and it's just great. Oh, I don't mind if he gets angry. I like that version of him.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, but I hope his meta-human ability has something that allows him to fly. If he even gets it. I doubt it, but like, it's a great idea. I love it. I love these comments. All right, is there anyone else, or?
There's one by Crimson Adventure. It says, I recommend Wally is in the Phantom Zone. It could be that just as the gangs are going to resource Connor to find Wally as well. After all, Wally wasn't only an illusion. He had the Phantom Zone colors. I mean,
that we said that at some point, but it was just wishful thinking. I feel like it's just wishful thinking.
I think this is what's going to happen. And this is wishful thinking again, but it's also plausible. They're going to have a hard time finding Connor. And then you know how the Phantom Zone, you can like project their wills. they're gonna project Wally, and Wally's gonna help them guide and find Connor.
Ooh, that would be interesting. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah. Again, wishful thinking.
But yeah, that would be crazy to bring two people back like that at once. But it just seems unlikely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it for the most part.
Cool. Well, thanks for the comments, guys. We always appreciate them, and it's fun reading them out. I enjoyed reading out the comments more than I enjoyed watching this episode, to be honest.
You really hate this episode.
Yeah, I liked the previous ones. Don't get me wrong. I love Young Justice overall. I like the previous episodes, but this episode in particular, I didn't like it. Let us know your thoughts. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.